Welcome. If you're brand new, if you haven't subscribed yet, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start it off today. Subscribe if you haven't. I have things are going to get a little exciting for me. Today we're going to talk about starting a business, or starting, whether it be your eBay business, starting to sell on other online platforms, or something more local, let's just say, not as global. What keeps most people from doing it? I know a lot of people that talk about, my holder fell off the window, so please bear with me. A lot of people talk about doing it, and for one reason or another, they never get going with it. And just so you know, we are getting ready to start our second business. I haven't alluded to what that is yet. I think there's probably less than 5 people that actually know what we're doing, and it's just we're pretty much set into it. But I just want to get some other things in place before I go too much into it. But as far as starting a business is concerned, one of the biggest things is fears of failure. Fears of the unknown. There's so many different little moving parts in it that sometimes you just learn on the way, or a thought crosses your mind, say, well, maybe I should check on that, and then you do. But even before, sometimes, no matter how inclusive you think that your business plan is, as far as what you need to do, what needs to be put in place, there's always going to be something that you forget. But don't let the fear of the unknown keep you from starting your business. If it's something that you think you're going to be passionate about, just start moving forward. Get that forward momentum going. Learn what you need to learn to get it going. And then it's just the thing about taking that first step, and that's kind of where that fear, sometimes the fear of failure, you're like, you have all these thoughts that are going to creep in your mind. Is this going to work? Am I going to succeed? How much of a financial burden is it going to put me in if it doesn't work? What happens if I sign a year lease and I find after 3 months it's just not something that I want, I can do? The thought of hiring employees, we as entrepreneurs, we have a stake in what we do. When we invite anybody into that circle, there's nobody else that's going to have as much stake in what you do than you do. And you have to constantly worry about getting decent employees. You have to start worrying about theft, and you have to start worrying about what they're doing when you're not there. You just kind of have to let all that go, and know that stuff's going to exist, and try to put some things in place to keep an eye on things when you're not there. But at the same time, balance that out with not micromanaging your employees. But all these things that you think about, you can't really let that keep you from moving forward with starting your business if that's truly what you want to do. The only thing you really need to do is worry, financially, you need to make sure that you're not putting your family or yourself in too much of a financial bind. There is going to be sacrifice if you're going to be successful. You just accept that. But hopefully the drive and the passion will weigh that out. But it is difficult to make that first step. But once you make that first step and get a little momentum going, you're going to appreciate it so much more. The more you sacrifice, the more satisfying that your success is going to be. And I have been very fortunate, with our ice cream truck. We started for under $4,000. Maybe let's just say right at $5,000 we started. That's buying the truck. It was already outfitted as an ice cream truck. and getting set up with our ice cream distributor and putting our first order in, and then it's just, the cash comes in and you go back and get more product. But it's excuse my freaking phone holder fell off today. But anyway, it was and it was a huge jump for us right in the beginning. Okay, we're going to buy this. We know absolutely nothing about selling ice cream. We don't know routes. We don't know where the most profitable neighborhoods are. We don't know, how they're going to take us, with the speed we're going to drive. What do we do? And you know what? It was just trial and error until you dial that in before we started to become successful. And here it is today, and we have 3 trucks on the road during the summertime. I have a concession stand that we have going during the summertime at one of the local beaches, and we've just extended the contract on that. We're trying to get that extended out at least 5 years. But all it was trial and error. You know what? We did Mobile Espresso in the mix there for a little bit. I built out a truck, invested all that money to do Mobile Espresso, and you know what? It wasn't what we thought it was going to be. It was very hard to get clients. It was up here, coffee is, there's a loyalty to coffee when you start going to a stand. So trying to pull customers from their preferred coffee shop was a difficult task, even though we were driving to location and making it and bringing it in. It just proved not to be successful as we thought. So you know what, we when it started when it started to become more of a headache and less of a profit, that's when we decided to pull that out of our repertoire, and we went back. We said, you know what, we're going to go back to what we know. We're going to go back to ice cream. And we maintained the concession just because they called us back and asked us to come back, but we were about to just get out of the concession and invest the money into possibly another truck so we can expand our footprint in the local area. But I guess the whole thing, what I'm trying to say is just do it. One of the ideas behind my YouTube channel, Win by Doing, is you cannot win without doing. You can sit there and talk about it all day, but if you don't start, if you don't take that first step and start, you've already lost. If you don't take, if you sit there and do nothing but talk about it, you've already lost the game. It's just like a foot race. You've already lost if you don't get off that starting block. You don't even have a chance. But you know what? If you go out there and you try and you make that first step and you start getting forward momentum, you may find out that you are a winner all the way. But anyway, just a little bit, this, and it doesn't change no matter if it's your first or second business. This is our second business we got going outside of, I consider my eBay stuff. I do eBay, and I do a little bit of merch by Amazon, and I do a very little Amazon merchant fulfilled, but and I consider that a business as well. But there wasn't as much risk involved there as it is with, for instance, this business we're starting out. And I'm not divulging what that business is at this point. I know it's a teaser, but it is that will come soon. We're really planning on kicking it off this probably mid-January, but it'll be probably towards the end of December, first part of January, that I actually start talking more about in detail what it is. And just because I've got some things I'm waiting to put in place, I'm waiting to get my website in place and dialed in the way I want it, which I'm doing myself. I have to get, there's a lot of other business side that I have to get ironed out and get in place before I do. But just to let you know, the big step was signing a year lease on a building. Yes, brick and mortar is involved, and making that commitment, because that's a year commitment. That was during that whole time up until the time we signed that lease. It was like, are we going to make it or are we not? It's feeling better. There's still that little bit of anticipation of whether we're going to succeed or fail. I think that the market can sustain the business that we're doing. But there's going to be some challenges along the way. But we went out. We got shelves, bought a safe. I bought some display cabinets, and in a future video I'll talk about some of the other struggles. But the thing is, you either do or you don't. And if you don't, you can't sit around and complain about being in the position that you're in. There's nobody else to blame but yourself. I know that I started, early on. I struggled a lot financially. My wife and we had 4 kids, trying to make sure that we provided everything for them. And I can honestly look back and see that there was a lot of times that, we probably could have saved a few bucks. But you know what? When we were really struggling, I went out and put Craigslist ads out to find work. There's people that still call me to this day wondering if I'm still doing manual labor. And you know what? Screw pride. If you can, I go out and I do manual labor for $15 an hour. You know what? That's fairly cheap in the area for labor. But you know what? I made sure that I worked my ass off, and I gave them everything that I could for that $15 an hour. I worked like I was working by the job, not by the hour. And that is what kept me inside jobs. And you know what? If financial is the reason that you are not doing the things that you want to do, then do what you can to resolve that. And I'm not going to say it's easy, because it's a lot of hard work, because you have to have a strong work ethic. And one thing I can say about most of the entrepreneurs that I talk with or interact with is drive to succeed. And that's what you have to have. You know what? Work your ass off, put the money away until you get what you need to start what you want to be doing. And I still work my full-time job. But it doesn't keep me from wanting to do other things, so that maybe one day I can get out of that full-time job. But do what you can to get where you need to be to start doing what you want to be doing. I guess that's where it is. And everybody that starts a job or starts a new business I think that they experience the same feelings, concerns, because nobody really wants to fail at anything. And especially when there's money on the line, when there's it's just a big undertaking, but it is doable. But you just gotta, like I said, take a little risk, calculated risk, but take a little risk and just do it, and don't let all those other fears get in your way. They're still going to be there, but be stronger than your fears, and just go out and do it. Anyway, I think that's enough rambling by me today. eBay, I had 7 packages go out. Don't get overexcited. The most expensive one, it was a $50 price tag, and the rest were between 10 and 20. But you know what? Every dollar counts. But if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button, hit that bell to get notifications when I do go live or when I do put out new content. And feel free to follow me on Instagram. It's Rod_at_WBD. And I also have a reselling Facebook group that's small and growing, but feel free to look at that. Just look for Rod at Win by Doing, and I'm sure it'll come up. There's a page and a group. Feel free to hit that group, because I'd love to hear everybody else's experiences. But yeah, that's it for today. If you got anything out of it, hit a thumbs up. If you didn't, leave me comments about how much I just jibber-jabbered and talked nonsense and just rambled. Anyway, that's it for today. Have a great one. Great day, morning, evening, wherever it is in the world you are. We'll catch you later. Peace out.